We're going to talk now a little bit about the fracture walker. It's the air cast fracture walker made by Don Joy. These are the ones that we use the most. There are many other different types of brands, but we find that this one, out of all the boots, is probably one of the most stable for any kind of fractures. So now I'm just going to go through this with you. The first thing is that we've got here is 3 straps, 1, 2, 3. And to loosen the straps, you just pull them loose like that, and they will then go through the buckle. And we'll do all 3 first before we fit the patient with the boot. The straps. Okay. And this is the front plate, so as you can see the front plate goes on last. So I'm just going to put that on the one side. And we open up the foam. Like this. So if you're at home and you need to put the boot on, just make sure that this bottom part is nice and flat. Right there. So I'm just going to open up that, and you can see the heel is in there. Right, so the first thing we do is the patient will lift the foot up and place the foot into the boot. Now, I don't know if you can see that.
I can rotate this.
How are you going to do this? So, the first thing you want to look at is if you've got surgery, and Amy doesn't have any surgery on her ankle, but after surgery normally this ankle section is pretty swollen. So you want to make sure that the ankle is not touching on the side of the boot, because otherwise it might cause a bit of a pressure sore there. So I can see that Amy's foot is in there perfectly. I also then just make sure your heel, the heel, is all the way in the bottom and touching the boot at the bottom. So once I've got that, then you would then put the foam on. So you've got the foam, first foam, and you've got your second foam there. And then you're going to put your front plate on. Your front plate has got a little piece of Velcro there and a little piece of Velcro there. So you're just going to pop that Velcro on there and push it down so that the top Velcro also sticks. So now you can see it's sticking and it's holding it in place without the straps yet. The first strap you're going to put on is the one that's over the ankle. So you'll go through and through again, so that forms a lock. And you just want to pull it as tight as you're comfortable. So using your discretion, you would just tighten it as much as possible and making sure that it's not too tight. The bottom strap then can be put on. Also same thing, locked in position, and then the top strap. Okay, so once all these straps are all in place, so if you have a look at these boots, all these boots come with an airbag. And the airbag goes all the way up to there and goes all the way around here. And this sits on the inside of the boot. There, it's sticking out there a little bit. So the first thing you want to do is check which dial. The dial goes 1 and 2. And that is 1. And on the other side, it's 2. So the first thing you want to do is go to dial 1. Okay, you'll see it on top there. It says dial 1. And then you're going to, this is the little pump here, but the little pump has got a hole in it. So if you pump it like this, and you don't release it, it's not going to suck air back into this little pump. So you need to take the air, and the air has to move from this pump all the way down with tubes and into the bag. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and what you want to really do is find a negative pressure. Negative pressure meaning is that when the patient is able to feel the pressure of the airbag, then that is enough pressure. You don't need to over pressurize the bag. Once I'm going to ask Amy now, can you feel the bag? Yes, she says yes, you can feel it. And that's what you want to do. You want to know whether the bag is touching your leg. When you start feeling the pressure, you stop pumping. Then you're going to move the dial over to 2, and then for the other side, you're then going to pump that as well. So we go 1, 2, 3, and Amy said that she can start feeling it after the third pump. Now, both those bags are now inflated. So if you take the boot off, the bags will stay inflated, and you will battle to get your foot back into the boot. So you have to try and remember to always deflate the bags before you remove the boot. To deflate the bags very easily, you've got it set on 2 there already, so we know that that is this side. So all we're going to do is just push the button, and we're going to release the air on that side, and then we're going to then put it over to 1, and we're going to then release the pressure on that one. And then once the pressure is released, then you can then remove the boot. Okay, so I think that's about tips and tricks for the boot. Just also remember that the boot has got a rocker bottom with a non-slip surface. But although it's non-slip, please be careful of any slippery surfaces. There's nothing that is completely non-slip. But you can see it's got a rocker bottom, so you're going to strike with your heel and then rock over the foot onto the toe. So let's just quickly demonstrate that. Let's just show. Okay, let me just get a bit of that. Get that going. So Amy, you can just demonstrate how to rock on the boot. That's fine. And that's it. And just please have a seat, Amy. So I'm just going to show also. It is advisable that because of the build height of the boot, it's quite high, the build height here. So you need to make sure that you're balanced on the other side, on the other foot. So it would be better to get a shoe that is as high as possible for the other foot. Try not to use sandals or slops, because it will make you unstable. So try and use a pair of tackies like Amy's got here. She's got a nice pair of tackies with a good build height there. And a good pair of tackies will definitely help. Alright, to remove the boot, you just, as you see, just make sure that you've released all the air, and then you're going to remove the straps. And off comes the top. This is if you're going to have to bath. So you'll remove that, you'll remove the foam and the foot. Now, another small tip is that at night when you're sleeping with this boot can, because it's got a bit of rubber here, it can hook onto all your bedding. So what I found is that I can suggest is that maybe get a pillow slip and pull the pillow slip over the boot and tuck it in, and then the pillow slip will stop the duvet and the sheets from hooking onto the boot.